Hi, Student Success Seminar students. I am Dr. Linda Remark, and I am your instructor for this second 8-week session. So I hope everyone had a great spring break. If you were here this first 8 weeks, and if you are just now starting, welcome to the college and welcome to online learning. So the first thing I'd like to do is start off with a video that kind of just helps you navigate around the course. I will say, if you have not taken the Succeeding Online Orientation, you will need to do that before you have full access to our class, and that's going to help you even more walk through how to navigate Blackboard and just make sure that you're comfortable with all of these different pieces and parts of the class. So, our class, when you log in, you're going to go to the Start Here section. Now, inevitably, you will probably use this section less and less as the weeks go by because it's really just kind of like this intro type stuff. So it's going to give like a course overview. I will embed my welcome video right here. There is a general course video tour through my Sark State, like the e-learning department, so you're welcome to watch that. Here's just a real quick instructor welcome from myself. This tells you kind of a little bit about me, my educational background, my kids, that kind of thing. So you're welcome to read that. I also have down here, we have our master's syllabus, which is just a very kind of overview. I want to say kind of just generic, like it's a 1 credit hour class. You'll see this kind of master syllabus for any class you take. So here's our course description that ideally you would have already seen before you signed up for the course. This class meets all the general learning outcomes of the college. Here are the 5 major course objectives that the assignments and the chapters and things like that will touch on throughout the entire 8 weeks. Here's some information about policies, where you can go for more information, disability support services. If you have like an IEP or 504 or any other academic need, they're a great resource. Some information about computer usage, and then student success resources. I actually just like to make sure we go to the Sark State homepage here, and under info for current students, if you're not familiar with this page already, this is a great page to kind of have bookmarked or just know where it is. This is the list of all the different types of resources we have, and there are some weeks where I will highlight some of these, where we'll talk about the digital library, we're going to talk about career services, we're going to talk about like the writing center. So I will highlight them, but I also just want to let you know, like, hey, if you need the food pantry, here's information for the food pantry. If you are an English language learner, if you need the science learnings, anything like that, this is a great place to go and just be aware of, so that you can utilize these resources. It pays your tuition, pays for all these, so take advantage. Alright, so also in our section here is our course syllabus. So I encourage you to open that. And this opens right up and go through. There are 3 sections in this one Blackboard course, which means there's approximately 75 of you in here, so you're going to see like lots of students kind of commenting because there's 3 classes in one. So again, my name is Dr. Remark. Here's where I'm on campus during the week, my on-campus location, my extension, and my email. If you are solely an online student and you need to meet with me, we can set up a Zoom, we can set up a phone call, so I'm flexible that way as well. We do have a text in this class, however, it is free and it is online, so I'm going to show you where to access it. It's right here in Blackboard. This is a breakdown of the points in the class. This is a typical ABCDF class. Attendance, meaning in this case, we're not meeting. There's no day or time that we meet, even online. We do attendance through either discussion boards or submission of work. So how that works is on weeks where you have a discussion board, such as week 1, you need to post by Wednesday night. So Wednesday are the discussion forum deadlines. So if you post on time on Wednesdays, you get 100% attendance. If you post late, let's say you forget one week, you post Thursday, you post Friday, you just get half attendance. If you miss an attendance deadline, please don't just say, oh well, please still post, because not only do you get points for the discussion forum for attendance, you also get points for just doing the forum. And so you want to make sure that you're getting the points for the assignment too. On the case that there are no discussion forums, which I think happens 3 times in our course, you need to just make sure that you submit all of the assignments by Sunday, and that will count as your attendance. Because we're an 8-week session, you have to have a 70% or higher to pass the class. Mathematically, if you have lower than that, you're just not really passing anyway. So make sure that you are, online. I always like to tell my online students, pick a day or two and just dedicate to your online classes, because we have had students where they forget they're in an online class because they're not physically going somewhere. So maybe on Tuesdays, you're sitting down between 10 and 11 or whatever it is, just dedicate to your online course. Here's some other information, withdrawal dates for an 8-week, second 8-week session. You have until April 24th to withdraw. If you're a College Credit Plus student, here's some information, the link you can follow there. And then here is just a very general course outline. I have all this information embedded. I will show you where this is as well. But this kind of just tells you what we're doing every week. Now, again, an 8-week course goes very quickly. We're taking 16 weeks and putting it into 8 weeks, so that's why you'll see sometimes there's just a lot going on. Week 1 is heavy. Week 3 is heavy. Week 6 is heavy. So there's a lot of weeks where there's just so much happening because we are cramming so much in here. Alright, so just make sure that you pay attention to kind of the bold. It's telling you when things are due. The red is just like a reminder. And then you also want to make sure that our student success workshop, and I'm going to talk to you about that, is due at the very end of our session. Alright, so that is our syllabus. Also on the same Start Here page, we have just some very general resources, and here's a link to the textbook. Now, inside every weekly folder, there is a link to the chapter we're talking about, but I'm just going to show you the textbook now. So if I click there, here's our textbook. I think this textbook is really easy to navigate. It's really kind of user-friendly. So you can just click down. Here's your table of contents. There's 12 chapters. You can just click the plus sign to get the subsections, and you can navigate right to the section you need. You can also go down to the bottom and click next or previous. You can also do some searching up there in the right hand corner. There are, lots of just good information in here. I will highlight the information. When my weekly videos come up, I do weekly lectures, weekly assignment videos. I will talk about, what's important in every area as well. So that's the general link. The rest of these are just resources or information that you probably need less and less as we go throughout the course. Alright, the majority of the time you're going to be spent right here under the lessons area, because this is where your weekly folders are. So here's another link to the textbook, so if you need another link right there. Here's the muddy point. So if at any point during the semester you have a question that either I or a classmate can answer, so think of this as like raising your hand in class. I would not put any individual grade questions in here. That's for course messages, which I'll show you shortly. But how you post in a discussion forum, this is going to apply to throughout the entire semester. You click in the name of the discussion forum and come up here and hit Create Thread. I'm going to write down what your subject is, so chapter 1 discussion or question or whatever it might be. Post your prompt, your response, your thoughts, whatever it is, and then hit Submit. Okay, so create thread, subject, post, submit. If you need to respond, which you will have to do every week, respond to 2 classmates in every forum, you click on the name of the thread, and then you just hit Reply. Put your response right here and hit Submit. Alright, so that's pretty easy to navigate, and you'll get the hang of it pretty quickly. But that is the muddy point. That is if you have a question that myself or a classmate can answer. The student lounge will also be here all semester, so this is just like an informal lounge, informal discussion forum if you wanted to share like an idea, a resource, a good place to go eat, anything like that. Very informal. It does not count for attendance, it does not count for points or anything like that. It's just that informal place you can communicate, kind of like if you were talking with your classmates before class. Alright, here's the big thing, required syllabus quiz. You all have to take this so that week 1 will open. You can see down here, when a folder like this is grayed out, you won't even be able to see it. But if it's colored in, that means it's open. Week 1 will not open for you until you take the syllabus quiz. And you have to get 100%. So if you take it and you get a 90, you're not going to see week 1. So this is just a series of questions that relate to the syllabus. So I always recommend to my students, bring up that syllabus. Go back to the Start Here, pull up the master syllabus, pull up the class syllabus, print it if you would like to, have it on hand or just have it in another tab so you can easily access it. But all of the questions are like true-false type things that deal with content of the course. As soon as you finish that and you get 100%, week 1 will open. I'm going to show you week 1. I'm not going to spend a lot of time in here because that's what my week 1 video will be for. But at least just will kind of let you know the expectations. So when week 1 does open, you're going to see both of these at the same time. Week 1 videos, which are going to contain the lecture for that week, as well as eventually the assignments that you have to complete that week. Then the actual work is into the week 1 folder. So every week is going to have like, hey, this is what you're reading, this is how you're, what you're using, and then it's going to have a snapshot of the assignments that you're completing that week. It's going to have a materials folder that's going to have direct links to the textbooks for that week, and anything else, slides or websites that are going to be helpful. And then you have your assignment folder, which is just that, like the work that you're going to be doing. And again, I will upload very specific videos for every single week and every single weekly assignments. So this is just kind of like an overview, letting you know what to expect, how it's set up. You can see the rest of the lessons area has those weeks there. Something I also want to draw your attention to is you have a workshop assignment. So everyone in SSC101 has to attend a student services assignment, and you have to do so by the end of our course, which is the end of week 8. And so I have a video that's dedicated just to this assignment, but I'll show you just real quickly. In my start state, under pages, development and training, student success workshops, you will see a list of assignments, a list of workshops, starting when we come back from spring break. You can see March 20th, all the way down through April and a little bit in May. You're going to register for one of those workshops. Most of them are through Zoom. You can see every once in a while they have like an on-campus one, but they have a nice kind of offering, some in the afternoon, some in the evening, some in the morning, so it should fit kind of different schedules. I would recommend looking at this sooner than later, because this is a requirement. You need to make sure you're completing it. And so what I don't want to happen is, okay, it's May, I only have 2 options. I want you to be able to take a workshop that is interesting to you, but also like helpful to you, not just something that you're like, oh, this is what I'm stuck with. So really take a look at the list. You will not send me the fact that you registered. When you're done with the assignment, you will send me the certificate of completion. And again, my video right here really talks about the workshop specifically, and I will remind you throughout the entire course of our session about that workshop. Alright, some other things in our class that I just want you to be aware of are course messages. This is where you will message me individually. You can always message me in my Start State email as well. But you just go up here to create message, click 2, scroll down and find my name. There I am. Click on me, move me over, put your subject, put your message, and then hit submit. Okay? There's an announcement page, which you can already see I have week 1 loaded in here. Anything I send as an announcement, I will also send as a course message. So sometimes if you're like, wait a minute, I already did that assignment, keep in mind I send this course announcement also as a course message. So it's not always like individual to you. It's very general. So these are just always going to be like links to the videos. It's also going to have written out instructions about what you're doing for this week. So make sure you check your announcements and or your course messages. You also have a course calendar, which is going to walk you through when everything is due. You can see here, it's not showing for some reason, but all of the, you can see here it's showing. There we go, some other things from the February class. My last class is picking up. So you're going to go through and make sure that all of this is in there, and that you just double check, it's in your announcements, it's in your syllabus, it's in your weekly folders, but the course calendar can really help you also just be reminded of what's coming up. Then you have access to your grades. Some assignments in Blackboard are automatically graded, which means that they just kind of copy over. And so it's nice to just double check that your grade is there. You will also see my manually graded work there as well for you. The rest of these tabs are just like resources, digital library, SSC resources, help desk, that kind of thing. Right, so that's just a really general overview. I hope that's helpful to you. And then when you're ready to get started, you want to make sure that you take that syllabus quiz, and then week 1 will open and you can start working on week 1. Please always feel free to reach out if you have questions, if you need anything. My contact information is on the syllabus, so make sure you bring that up.